Mongols. Alright then guys, so welcome back to the group stage of War is Coming. We've got Psy versus Don't Lame Us Please, and this is game number 2, with Psy taking the win in the first game on that land nomad start. This map is once again Ancient Lake, and I don't know if I'm a fan of this map or not, and this map is going to make a lot of appearances in the group stage of this tournament. And I don't know why it's this map that they've picked. I don't know exactly what it was, what the criteria was for the maps or anything like that. Obviously, it's the sponsor's decision at the end of the day. But yeah, this map is showing up a lot, and 16 games a week are going to be played on this map, and that's going to be for the next 5 weeks. So we're going to see it a lot, and we'll see a lot of different players and a lot of different teams facing up on it. But yeah, we have to kind of like get used to this map, because we will be seeing plenty of it. Now, interestingly enough, we've actually got Spring in here, and this is the Spring, the American Spring, the Spring who won the ZeroEmpires Invitational, playing on the Russian team. I don't know why he's playing with the Russian team, but there you go, he is. Just to throw a random American guy into there. No offense to Spring, obviously, but a little bit strange that he's with the Vic team. But Don't Lame Us Please team, sorry. But hey-ho. It should be interesting anyway. So we'll introduce the players, see where they're at, and see what's good on this map. In the northwest of the map, in the blue, we have got Air M. Abu playing as the Vikings. And up to the very north of the map, in the grey, we've got Feng Xin playing as the Mayans. Over to the northeast, in the orange, we've got Mr. Yo playing as the Mongols. And down to the sort of southeast or far east, I guess you could say, in the teal, we've got James playing as the Huns. So, he is part of the Psy team. The Psy team are up to the north and off to the east of the map. And for the guys in the south, they are the Don't Lame Us Please team, and they are at the very south of the map. In the green, we've got Spring playing as the Huns. Over to the southwest, in the purple, we've got Winchester playing as the Mongols in purple. Up to his northwest, in the yellow, we've got DFS playing as the Vikings. And off to the far west of the map, in the red, we've got Vic Warrior playing as the Spanish. So Vic Warrior, Winchester, and DFS making an appearance, but Spring switching out with the teal player from the last game. So this should be an interesting one. The map, as we know already, is Ancient Lake. And yeah, I feel like this map is a little bit strange in the generation. There's a big discussion going on at the moment about whether this map is actually fair. As you can see, if you look at this lake at the bottom, it is joined to the lake in the middle by this kind of river, this little passageway. Now, this is it's impossible to wall this because of the shallows. So this lake in the middle and this lake at the bottom is joined. They are joined, and there's no way they can wall it off so that these lakes aren't joined. So that's all well and good. But you could argue that Spring and Winchester in this situation actually have a private lake. They have a lake at the back of their base, and I mean, fair enough, the Psy guys can travel down there through this passageway, but if they don't scout it, or I don't know, if they don't know the map properly, which they should, to be fair, then it could mean that Spring and Winchester basically get free fishing all game, and that kind of sucks. So there's a bit of a debate at the moment about the fairness of this map. People like Dogao and I think other people in their team, the L Clan team, kind of think it's unfair, whereas people as the Viper think it's kind of interesting and makes it more flavoursome to have a map that has this kind of split lake. But I don't know, I wonder what you guys think. Because I think ultimately it does end up balancing out anyway, because you can't wall this passageway. So if two players from Don't Lame Us Please dock this lake at the bottom, and the other two dock the main lake, then it's going to be, 3 or 4 on 2 on the main lake, with these two at the back fish booming, and eventually the guys will lose if they are 2 versus 4. So everyone's going to have to either fight together eventually anyway, or risk losing the water. And at this map, kind of, water is going to be important. It's going to be used to control these crossing points, as we've said already, and it can be used later on with cannon galleons as well, but we've not seen the game on this map get to it. Though I've got to say, the kind of mix between land and water is still very important, and we have seen a lot of land attacks on this map as well. with the flanks often actually attacking on land, and I think that makes a lot of sense because it is fairly open, though saying that Abu's got a reasonably easy wall on this top side, whereas Spring doesn't have the easiest wall against James on the bottom, but James here kind of walling up at the front anyway, and he's got a lot of gold on this map, which is kind of weird. So yeah, actually, Kieran in the chat says you can wall it with 2 docks. You might actually, yeah, you might have a point actually. If you built a dock on either side, you might actually be able to stop them going through. I don't know though. I think you'd probably still be able to get around the back of the dock if you did that. So I'm unsure. Dock blocking might work. I think it's too wide though, because I mean ships can travel on the sand. So. It could be interesting though. I would actually like to try that out afterwards and see if that's possible after I've cast this game. So we'll see. Anyway, everyone's starting to take water now. A few fishing ships coming out for everyone, aside from Warrior, who actually is not making a single dock or fishing ship yet. Of course, Spring and Winchester docking at the bottom on this lake, and as I said earlier, we got a barracks out for James, so we see a few militia coming over the map. Winchester's seen that, of course Spring has seen that as well, but Spring wide open to this one at the moment, and he's still in the Dark Age, but he has no barracks, and he may have a little bit of trouble dealing with this drush from James. James coming in with those militia there. Of course, Winchester's scout is available to help out, but this is going to cause a little bit of eco damage to Spring here. It's going to cause his villagers to go idle, and it's going to be a little bit tough for Spring, I think, even with the help of Winchester's scout. These militia could cause these villagers to go idle for a long time. They could even kill a villager if they get lucky and Spring doesn't react in time. But the pressure is on for James. He kind of has to do damage here. Yo is bringing in his scout, and Yo is actually up to the feudal age now as well. And I know Winchester's here, and I know Spring's got his scout here, but Yo has the +2 attack on his scout thanks to being in the feudal age. So Yo can snipe that scout from Spring, run back, and that's 2 scouts there versus 1 and 3 militia. And Spring's suddenly in a bit of a bad position here. These villagers being pulled to fight, and Mr. Yo going to get what damage he can onto this scout, and these guys just going to avoid the TC fire from Spring as well. And wow, Winchester may just lose his scout here as well, luring them into the TC, but Spring not garrisoning in time, and he doesn't have enough villagers under here to fire many arrows as well. So unlucky for Spring, I've got to say. Being harassed off the gold. Spring's still not feudal yet either. And Winchester now just reaching feudal, but only 3 health on this scout. So not good for him at all. But Spring now trying to take some of this gold. And he's still got decent fishing at the back, though his fishers are not taking the big fish. Yeah, there we go. He's redistributing them now. But yeah, looks like Spring's going to lose a villager. And that is 1 down. Man down for Spring as that villager gets taken out. What? Okay, the scout's going to get it. And 1 militia down, 1 villager down, and a bunch of villager idle time. So James getting ahead there. James also up to the feudal age now, and he's not far behind Spring either. In fact, I think he's ahead of Spring. Very, very close on that feudal age upgrade time there for James, and that drush has been effective. That is a winning drush right there. James also allowing him to take these deer right on the front in comfort and safety. And he has got this wall off as well. So, feudal age for Spring. James just behind him, actually. I was wrong. James was not ahead. But there we go. He's up to feudal now. Still got this militia handy. And Spring's still unable to get that barracks up in time. So, no range or anything from him just yet. And that's a very bad start for him, to be honest with you. And I wonder what he's going to do next. It's got to be an archery range. But he doesn't have the wood. So, this archery range is going to be really delayed. And, of course, Spring now going to have to pull his villagers again to fight this. And that's, again, causing more idle time. And this drush from James has been fantastic. Now up in the north, we've got wall-offs coming up. Abu walling across with stone. And the same for Warrior, but only with Palisade, walling all the way across here. And on the water, it's looking good for the Psy team. I mean, look at this, Mr. Yo with the galleys out. Vikings for Abu, so he's making plenty of galleys as well. And these guys taking out DFS's fishing ships. The fishing ships are all down, they're all gone. And DFS has got 3 galleys in the middle of the map. A little bit close to Mr. Yo's fishers, but Mr. Yo reinforcing with more galleys to keep them safe. And DFS losing his galleys, what galleys he has. And there is the galleys that as they come through now. It looks like Winchester may have tried to do a dock block there, actually. I mean, he's trying to wall this, which is a little bit strange because, I mean, he's walling himself out of his teammate there. But that's fair enough. You could always put a gate on that, for instance. But those galleys now coming into the bottom lake, and Mr. Yo going back. Why is he going back? I don't know. Maybe he wants to stop a villager from taking this dock or building this dock. And you might be right. A dock block could work if they built another dock here. That could mean that no galleys could get through, which would work, I guess. But inevitably, galleys will take out the docks anyway. But yeah, this is looking very bad for the Don't Lame Us Please team. The Psy guys are getting a lot of damage on the water. They're holding that water control. However, Winchester is up to the castle age, and I think he's the only one castle at the moment. We've got Warrior going up to castle as well now, the red player here, who didn't even build a single dock, remember? And it looks like he wants to do a castle drop onto Abu with that stone almost at 650, actually 650, and sending those villagers forwards now. So we could see a castle drop here. Could take down that stone wall pretty quickly and get very aggressive on this left flank against the Viking player, and that's usually a good idea. DFS getting taken out pretty quickly with his galleys there, and perhaps DFS might sneak by and try and get a couple of fishing ship kills where he can. We even got Feng Xin on the water slightly with those galleys as well. So I'm not expecting the Don't Lame Us Please team to really hold the water or get the water back, though we have got some fires coming in from Winchester now due to the fact he is castle. We've got castle age for Warrior as well, and these side teams seem to be a little slower. James is castle though. He did a rush fast castle on this right hand side, and now we've got archery ranges coming out and siege workshop as well, as James starts making these cavalry archers, and if he gets in there quickly, he could stop this wall off from Spring entirely. Those cavalry archers will easily kill these villagers and the 2 archers, or the 3 archers that Spring has. Spring's still feudal. He must be clicking up to castle, surely. Nope, he's not. He's not got enough food, and in fact, he doesn't have any fishers because he lost them to the galleys of Yo. So Spring down to 1 fishing ship, and this wall off might not get finished if James reacts quickly. There's a piece of wall, he's blocked it, and that's it. Spring is breached. James is in, and Spring now forced to put towers up. Spring is not going to be happy with this game. That tower going up on his wood line there, that's messed him up mega, and he's having to tower up back here. But these cavalry archers on the right side, killing a few villagers, taking out his army, and he's going to click up to castle now. He's 1 gold away. He's going to click up any minute, but it's not good for him over there at all. Winchester trying to do what he can with the fire ships, but there's too many galleys out for Abu, and too many galleys here from Yo. Although saying that, a few galleys from DFS, more than I expected. Those fires, let's see if they can do the damage. I think Mr. Yo might want to run. That's looking pretty potent there, but if they both engage together, if Mr. Yo and and Abu engage together, they could take this down pretty quickly. Meanwhile, though, James still at the back, and these cavalry archers, more health, more damage, more range, everything on these archers. Since they have Bodkin Arrow done, James is going to clean this army up from Spring, no problem whatsoever, and that breach in the wall is still there. James has got a Mangonel now as well, and these towers from Spring are costly and not really achieving a whole lot. Spring can click up to castle, or he can't because he doesn't actually have a blacksmith yet. He doesn't have enough wood for a blacksmith, so he is actually trapped. Oh, there we go. No, he is building a blacksmith now on the front. But yeah, bad news for Spring on that right flank. DFS, though, pushing Yo back with the help of Winchester and his fire ships. We're waiting to see Abu, though, get up to the castle age here. He must be castle soon. let's see. Abu's still feudal. Wow, okay. He's still feudal. I guess he's probably dealing with this. I've kind of forgot about that. Warrior castle dropping here on this right side. And this is forcing Abu to build up on this left flank. But the petards are coming out from Abu. Oh, never go full petard. But he did. The petard bust. And, I mean, Abu can wall behind this as many times as he likes. But ultimately, 2 petards is all it takes to get through the wall. And Warrior demonstrating the perfect use of petards there. Abu's going to have to react to this somehow, but he's still feudal, and he will be castle soon. Meanwhile, attacking DFS on the water here. Winchester losing his fire ships. They're getting focused down. Fire ships are pretty useless, to be honest with you. Even against galleys, they just, I don't know, they just don't have the firepower. Even though they are fire ships. But, yeah, it looks like these Psy guys might just hold the water. There's that war galley upgrade from Mr. Yo. And Abu may just lose his galleys here. But Mr. Yo will probably push through. Oh, Mr. Yo on the right side there with the transport ship. What's it got in it? 4 villagers. Okay. Nearly running right into DFS's galleys there. That was hugely risky. But those villagers are going to land. And what is he going to do? Well, Mr. Yo's playing Mongols. He could drop a stable and do some knights into Winchester's eco. But those cavalry archers from James being a pain in the butt at the moment. Spring on this right side, unable to prevent his towers from going down. There's just too much mangonel here. Those cavalry archers are looking for some kills as well, but going to have to go back. There's too many towers here from Spring. And yeah, Spring is absolutely doomed on this right-hand side. Mangonel's just cleaning house at the moment. In the center of the map, DFS getting caught out by Feng Xin's galleys and Abu's galleys, and that landing is real. That landing is Mr. Yo's stables. And indeed, we will see knights coming out there. Now, meanwhile, on the left side, the petard busts coming through. And Vic Warrior still trying to get through with those petards there. But there's a castle up for Feng Xin now to keep Abu safe. And Abu should be up to the castle age at this point in time. He's about 50% there. And I've got no doubt in my mind at all that since that castle is now up, Warrior will not push through here. So, good timing by Feng Xin with that castle. And that is going to help keep things very, very safe. Now, meanwhile, this landing is kind of between Spring and Winchester. Spring finally up to the castle age, but he's only on 1 TC still. His villages are being taken down by these cavalry archers so quickly, and he's down to 31 population. James is at 56. He's got the 2 TCs up and running. He's looking for the 3rd one, I imagine, fairly soon, but keeping the pressure on with that siege workshop and the cavalry archers coming around the back, killing more villagers, and that is bad news for these guys. Winchester, though, found this landing attempt, and Mr. Yo's getting up a monastery, so we might see some monks coming out there for some wallow action. But on the water, who was I even looking at? On the water, it's looking very good for the Psy team still, as DFS is trying to put out more galleys, but he's still feudal, and he has not reached the castle age yet. He's clicked up, but you know, feudal galleys, it's galleys on galleys, and then war galleys from Mr. Yo, just to add to the fight. I know this fire is coming out from Winchester, but it's just not enough at the moment, and for some reason, Winchester wants to fight James with his fires. That's incredibly good, actually. Just look at those fires, killing off those cavalry archers. They got nothing on him. Well, they have, because they can just run away from the shore, and the fires are then useless. But, yeah, DFS losing this navy over and over and over if he keeps fighting, which is not good news at all. And meanwhile, on this left side, Feng Xin helping out with some plumed archers. But finally, DFS up to the castle age. And he will get the war galley upgrade. Mr. Yo might want to make some more war galleys soon. But on this left side, warriors through. But those plumed archers looking a little bit menacing as they close the gap and take these conquistadors down. Or they try to, anyway. Conquistadors just so strong. 2 base pierce armor, and they have more natural health than the plumed archer as well. So these guys, a little bit hardy, but they do miss a lot, and although they have 16 attack, they are much more expensive as well than the plumed archers. But Feng Xin now up to the Imperial Age, and for the Psy team, they have 1 person who is Imperial, and for this, the Don't Lame Us Please team, everyone else is Castle. So that's really bad news. The Imperial Age upgrade from Feng Xin coming in, and this is going to be massive. This left side probably going to go down very quickly, since Vic Warrior will not be able to protect this castle from trebuchets. Now, meanwhile, in Spring's base, yes, more mangonels, more cavalry archers from James. Spring got his own mangonel, but yeah, the cavalry archers taking that down pretty quickly. Good micro, and Spring just getting destroyed over here. The problem is, if he runs this way, what's he going to run into? He's going to run into the army of Yo, so he can't even get off of his little area here. He's got the cavalry archers from James chasing him down. He's trying to rebuild a TC or build a new TC on this right side, but yeah, James is all over this. He could bring his mangonel in to start taking this TC down as well. And meanwhile, Yo, a bunch of camels, a couple of monks, and he's going to actually convert some of these ships for good measure. Bring in those, bringing those camels in to fight the fire ships. I mean, what is going on here? All of those land units fighting the ships, but those monks are going to be getting some conversions, and that means that Mr. Yo will keep his water dominance for now. DFS, though, getting a few more galleys out on the water, war galleys, but I feel like this left flank is now at serious risk, especially now the Mayan player is Imperial. Feng Xin going to be doing some mega damage over there, and Mr. Yo causing all manner of troubles in the middle of the map, just being a nuisance with his fancy landings and sneak villagers. That's Mr. Yo's style. But yeah, Spring is so out of this with 22 population now, and the score lead is 9,000 ahead at the moment for the Psy team. Anyone else going up to Imperial at the moment? Vic Warrior just clicked up, actually. But Vic Warrior, the red player, just lost his castle as he clicked up, and that's a problem. He's Spanish, and if you have a look at where he is in comparison to Feng Xin, who is also the only other person Imperial in this game, he is in a hugely advantageous position. That elite plumed archer upgrade done. And Vic Warrior now, what's he going to do? He's got 2 stables back here. He's starting some knight production. He's housed, though, after losing that castle. And those plumed archers are working their way forwards. Vic Warrior is losing some serious ground. And on this right side, Winchester pulling out all the stops, it seems, to push James away and clean up this forwards, or this landing from Mr. Yo. However, Spring is so far out of this game, and if you look at Abu was probably, well, he's the lowest scorer for the Psy team, and he still has more points than Vic Warrior, who's just clicked up to Imp. So that just gives you some perspective at this point in time, how far ahead the Psy team are. I mean, this guy just getting up to the castle age now. He's only on 1 TC. Oh, sorry, no. My bad. He's up to 2 TCs, but I mean, he's working on water control at the moment, but I don't think that's really going to be important anymore, because this land army, this land attack from Feng Xin is going to be way too much for Warrior to deal with, I think. He's still not Imperial yet, which means that the Cavalier upgrade is going to be even later coming. And these Knights unupgraded. There's no bloodlines at all. There are no +2 defense upgrades. There's just nothing here for Warrior. He's just doing +2 now. The Imperial Age upgrade, it's in this TC, and there are 2 trebuchets firing at it. I think the TC may just go down before the Imperial Age upgrade is done, and that is just horrible. Vic Warrior gonna lose that town center right about now. The Imperial Age cancelled. It's over. It is over. The Don't Lame Us Please team getting crushed in the face of Psy, and even though they're cleaning up this from Mr. Yo, yeah, Vic Warrior now wide open to this attack. He's still not Imperial, and Knights just will not cut it, especially now that they still don't have bloodlines. Knights are not going to cut it against the plumed archers from Feng Xin. Feng Xin coming forwards with more castles, and that Bodkin, no, sorry, not Bodkin arrow, that bracer upgrade is done now as well, and I imagine that Feng Xin will be doing a chemistry reasonably soon once he gets the golden food for it. Now in the middle, DFS lost the water entirely to Abu there. Abu's regained water control, and whilst Winchester is defending on this right side, and whilst Spring is managing to just rebuild as they've just pushed James out of their base, you've got this. And these plumed archers are probably going to be able to clean these knights up here. Don't underestimate the plumed archer. They are just so strong, and they are going to get a lot of knight kills. I imagine that yeah, those defense upgrades coming in as well now. So +4 defense, massed plumed archers this left side. And I don't know why Don't Lame Us Please have not resigned yet, but they're holding on in there for some reason. But I'm pretty sure at this point in time that it is very much over. Now, anyone at all Gonna go up to Imperial for Don't Lame Us Please. Winchester. Yes, he's on 70%, and he is gonna be Imperial soon. He's playing as the Mongols. He is gonna be very strong in the late Imperial age of the game, late Imperial stage of the game. But it's gonna be him against 4 at this rate, because, I mean, Abu's got the water here. Feng Xin pushing in on the left. Mr. Yo preparing on the right. James just reaching Imperial on the right as well. And he's going to be sending forwards Paladins or Cavaliers soon. We've got Mr. Yo building a forward castles on the right side. So Mangadai going to be coming in from him very soon as well. And they've only just cleaned out this from Mr. Yo here. And then you've got a death ball of plumed archers. Look at these knights going down. Winchester just reaching the Imperial Age. But Feng Xin, in the ultimate BM, building that town center in the place where Vic Warriors TC was just standing a minute ago. So that TC going to go up right there. That gold going to be claimed as Feng Xin's, and he's just going to push forwards with the rest of these plumed archers and probably clean up Vic Warrior's base. Vic Warrior still castle, and he's not going to be able to click up to Imperial now. It's just not going to happen. We've got Mangadai coming in from Winchester, but they are unupgraded, and there are nowhere near enough of them on this right side. Knights coming through from James, and yes, Spring's trying to wall up, but Spring, once again, a few seconds too late. The Knights are already in, and even if he does wall this up, he's only the Huns. He can't upgrade to fortified wall, and there's a castle going up here. Mr. Yo will bust that with a petard, or even just with the castle fire alone, he can do that. Big Warrior's base is gone. It is just gone. He's trying to rebuild at the back, but it is futile. It is no point to it anymore. They're 2,000. The side team is 2,000 points ahead. Cavalier done for James, taking out Spring's Eco, and their only hope that remains at this point is Winchester. Winchester just, yeah, not gonna have enough. There's the GG. DFS, Spring, Vic Warrior, and Vic Winchester. Gonna GG out, and there you go. So that's it. People are asking about the stuff like showing the score and stuff like that. That's part of user patch. The user patch is basically what allows this to happen. It's not available. You don't get to see this in AOE HD. It's just the user patch that does this, and the user patch is fantastic. It's basically what allows spectator and all that stuff, and you can flick through see all the stats, the society stats live on the fly. It's a really useful tool. Though granted, I don't actually use the economy or the society one often, but I do like to use the score, the population, and the military ones to see the KDs there. Looking at that, actually, Feng Xin with 92 kills and 28 losses. Pretty insane stuff there. Very well played by Sai, though. Don't Lame Us Please just didn't seem to stand a chance there, and I'm pretty disappointed with Spring's play. But to be fair, James and the Sai team are higher rated overall than these guys, but they're still trying, and Spring just did not stand a chance that game, unfortunately. Just too much pressure from James, and that Drush was fantastic as well. So anyway, that's going to be it from me tonight. That was game number 2 for you. I will finish off